Rough Edge FM. Irritatingly irresistible internet radio at roughedgefm.com.
There's so much going on in your community that even in this age of information, it's tough to keep up. This show will help. It's all about what's new, what's happening, and what's out there. So if you're ready, sit back and listen up, Santa Paula.
Close up though.
So you know what? I don't even know if we heard anything on that.
No,
because I wasn't on.
Oh,
so that might have been a really shabby opening.
Wow. Sounds like you need to discipline the engineer.
I know.
You know?
It's too much happening.
Wow.
Oh gosh.
How many times have you done this?
A handful.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
See, I'm getting sloppy. I'm getting lazy.
Yeah, I can tell.
Wow.
Know? So, it's after all these shows, you think you'd get it right.
I know.
Yeah.
There's at least one thing in every show.
I know.
So,
yeah, but it's never me. So
it isn't, because all you have to do is just sit there and look pretty.
Right, you're the man in control.
I am.
So
I'm going to relinquish the control, and I'll show you how to use the board.
All right. I don't know if I can handle that. So, I'll leave that up to you.
So I had the splash screen. When the splash screen is up, it doesn't show us at all. It just shows that.
Yeah.
And then I ran the video. So they probably saw the splash screen in the video, but they didn't hear about us saying anything about the fact that the draft is on every intro video.
Yeah.
So
a few businesses are on there. The mural's on there. There's a few things that are on there. So it's good to highlight Santa Paula.
Absolutely.
Steckle Park.
That's why we do it
too.
Yep.
So
that's why we do it.
Yep.
So here's something interesting. If you do podcasting and you want to monetize, in the past, when you used to monetize your podcasts, which is basically allowing Google to insert ads, it'd be like, "Hey, John, did you?" And it would be like, "Do you have?"
It cuts.
Yeah. Well, now you can actually go in and say, "So we will be right back after this break," and then you pause for a second, and it will insert in the pause.
Wow.
So
that's good.
You don't even have to say break. You can just say, "We'll be right back," or whatever. But just so your audience knows you're going to cut out, but you can actually control the cuts now.
Are we actually going to have any sponsors at any time?
I don't know. We could talk about monetizing it.
Yeah.
So
got to keep this going.
Yeah. So far, Magic Talk has earned $14.35.
All right. Well, at least you're positive.
It's like pennies that you get, like not even maybe a penny. You get a very small fraction, let's say.
Unless you're really controversial or have something that's,
Well, there's a couple, if they download, they don't get the ads.
Yeah.
So most of our listeners on Magic Talk download and they play the podcast later. And so you have to listen to it on a streaming device. And if you listen to it on Spreaker, which is the service that we use for podcasting, you get paid a little bit higher than if you listen to it on iTunes or any of those other services.
Okay.
So, but there's like this whole science to it.
Right.
So if one day else and you say, and John, we'll be right back after this break, you'll know why.
And then I'll get that check for like 50 cents.
Oh, no. It'll probably start off about maybe, 8 cents.
Yeah. Hey, it's 8 cents I didn't have, right?
That's true.
That's
true.
It works.
So we are like full-fledged into the holiday season now.
Yes. Starting November 1st, which is today.
Yes.
We are in small business season for the holidays, which is crazy,
Yep. It has started.
Yeah.
So November 2nd, tomorrow at 9:00, we will be at the Glen Tavern.
Correct.
And talking with different businesses about marketing ideas and things of that nature so that we can all support one another.
Yeah, what we're doing, something new I came up with this year is, last year we were part of the small business season also, which is it's a worldwide organization of chambers, and last few years they've decided to start doing the same message all across the world to support small businesses.
Now, American Express helps fund that, don't they?
American Express does Small Business Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a group of chambers started by Frank Kenny and his wife. They used to run chambers for years, and now they go on the circuit and they speak to different chambers. But they came up with this idea, is like, as they're talking to all these other chambers around the country right now, is that everybody's got messages everywhere, and it's like, what if we come up with one message that everybody can share? It saves time, it saves money, but just share the same resources, so.
And this is supporting small business throughout the season.
Yes,
not just what American Express is doing is just the Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is a whole 2-month from November 1st to December 31st, but we can still continue even after. It's not just all about the holidays, but the holidays is one of the biggest times for small businesses. So we do our concentrated effort to support, and you see us with social media posts almost every day with the messaging out there. We did that last year. Last year was 5 days a week. We would put the messaging out. This year, they're trying to get us to do it every day. And it just, you'll see it through our social media platforms, but it's just a cool way of telling people that it's really important that you support small businesses. And the pictures are great because they cater them to even like we have one for daylight savings time on Sunday that we're going to post, and so they come up with some creative lines.
So we have daylight savings time this Sunday.
Yeah. So you get 1 extra hour of shopping.
Ooh.
So and we're going to highlight that. But so with the Santa Paula Chamber, we're trying to make a concentrated effort to really focus on small businesses this year. But as I was doing that, we signed up for this. I was like, well, we're giving one message out for hopefully that the whole community can do that. But I was also thinking, well, why don't we start talking to our businesses and see, hey, tell us what you need. Tell us what's been working for you, what hasn't worked for you, what kind of resources you need, supplies, whatever, anything we can get our hands on for them that'll save them a little bit of money, but it'll help market their business. We're here for them to try and figure that out. We have a lot of chamber members that are huge supporters of what we're doing too. And we have a lot of non-chamber members too, that we're helping support as well. So with the hope that they join the chamber,
right,
with what we're supporting. And last year we did it. We got several businesses that joined the chamber because they like what we were doing. So we're going to try this again. It's really important that we support small business, not just in Santa Paula, but throughout the area too. We support Ventura, Oxnard, Fillmore, all of them that, just get people to shop local. It's really important that they do that. Keep your dollars in your community.
Right.
So we're going to really focus on that. And tomorrow's meeting is it's a little informal, but we're going to have, you're going to speak a little bit about social media and the impact it has and how they can do this. I'm going to talk about what we're currently doing and what we're going to try and do throughout the whole season. And then we might do a little breakout session and just have a little Q&A with everybody and just start asking and getting some feedback of what they'd like to see us do to help them. And as part of this whole, Small Business Saturday, which we've talked about American Express helping too, and we're part of that. We're their community champions. So, and a lot of our businesses actually are signed up for that. I was amazed that we have probably like 18 or 20 businesses in Santa Paula that are part of that network too. They've signed up for that. So we're going to try and share all that too. And Small Business Saturday is on the 25th of November. It's the same day as the holiday parade. It's also the same day as our Santa Train fundraiser too. So a toy drive. So we're kind of building up these first 3 weeks leading up to that. And then we're going to try and carry it for the next 4 to 5 weeks. So it's a lot happening, but I think it's going to be really good to help support our community. And it's not just our downtown, it's the entire Santa Paula area.
Right.
And throughout Fillmore and Piru that we're helping support as well.
Right. And I think it's important to note, because I think a lot of people sometimes feel like the focus is always downtown. But this is really about the community at large, all the businesses that are throughout here on Harvard, on Telegraph.
Yeah.
On
yeah. We, always the focus seems to be on downtown because they have an actual district that's all the members, all the business and property owners together have a special district. So yeah, there's a lot of focus on that. But this year we're taking a little different approach, and we're trying to include everybody in the community. So all of our materials are not downtown centered. It's always going to be about everybody.
Right.
And so, I want to work with you a little bit about how we can put lists together of different areas and how we can, here's a list of businesses that we can support for whether it's restaurants or, gifts or flowers or whatever we have, that we can start highlighting them throughout the season. So people shop there. There's one about decor, about getting your holiday decor. So we got a post that we're going to do on, I think on Friday or Saturday, that's talking about where you get your holiday decorations. You can order Amazon, you can go to Walmart and Target, all the big box stores. But if you've ever gone down to like one of the small businesses, not just downtown, but throughout the whole community, there's some unique holiday decor that you can purchase, and you're helping support them as well. So, so we're just going to try and get a different message out to everybody throughout the holidays to keep our dollars in our community.
So for tomorrow, it's open to all local businesses.
Yeah.
It's encouraged because they're going to have an opportunity to provide feedback.
Yes.
They'll also be able to hear what's working for other businesses. Yeah. They might get some ideas and
the meeting's more about them and trying to understand what their needs are. And we can kind of start tailoring our message to help support them. We have a basic message of small business season, but within that, we want to start tailoring it to what's been working for other businesses.
Sure.
And so it's a little different approach. A lot of times we're just like, here's our message. We're going to do this and move forward. But I think we need to expand it a little bit more, especially right now with, the potential recession coming or whatever. We're trying to help push our businesses along and keep them thriving.
What do you mean recession coming?
Yeah. Well,
you mean it's not here?
They're telling us it's coming, but I think we're here now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So yeah.
When you're paying $6 a gallon for gas, then you're telling me that's not a recession?
Yeah. When you got a truck that's 32 gallons, that gets a little pricey.
Oh yeah.
So believe me, I filled up half a tank yesterday. I was like, whoa,
it's like going out and getting a loan every single time you go put gas in your car.
Exactly. But so it's people are concerned. I mean, as a business owner, I'm sure you are too. I mean, I'm concerned as our organization too, about funding and how to keep going and helping support too. So it's an interesting time in our community, throughout the country, I would think right now. But I think we'll do better if we all band together and help support each other, so that's.
Yeah. And we just talked with the Fillmore Theater,
mm-hmm.
and we are talking about producing a quarterly magic show mashup at their theater. Mm-hmm. And so I think, it's important for the Valley to really kind of band together.
Yeah.
And even though we have the Santa Paula Theater and we have the Fillmore Theater and we have our small little theater and there's, little shows going on throughout, we don't need to look at that as competition and fight. If we all kind of work together, we can make sure that we don't conflict with other events. We can make sure that we're supporting your event, you support our event.
Exactly.
Because I think one, you're serving a different audience to a degree.
Yes.
And two, the more we can get the message out, the better we're all gonna perform.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's always a dance that you do with us every year, is like trying to make sure that events don't compete against each other,
right?
As much as possible. I mean, there's times they do overlap, but you're right, it's a different audience sometimes. But we always look at, like, we're trying to plan for next year's events, and we're looking not only with what's going on in Santa Paula, but we're looking at the county events too. You don't want to conflict with the county fair, the two weeks in that.
Right.
But then there's the other surf rodeo, there's all these other events that they have, Boots and Brews and all these big events, and you don't want to compete with those. We did that one year where we were actually, I forgot what event it was. I think it might have been Surf Rodeo. And people were like, well, it's going up against it, but it's two completely different audiences. So we still had a very successful event, but they had a successful event also.
Right.
But I learned it's like, we can't do that. We got to really look at the calendar.
Well, our show that we did that competed with the 150th anniversary, we had 10 people.
Yeah.
Because everybody was there for the 150th anniversary.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we kind of knew that it's like, okay, well, we just shot ourselves in the foot, but we had already had it all scheduled. Yeah. And, so it was kind of like, okay, well, we'll take our chance. But if you're trying to compete against a big county event, especially when it's happening near you
in your backyard, it makes it tough.
Yeah.
So, but every city goes through that. Every tourism group organization that puts these events on, you always are trying to maneuver where's the best time to put your event. I know in July when we have our event, our Citrus Music Festival, we have to kind of sandwich in between the county fair, and I think it's Boots and Brew, and there's another one, the Surf Rodeo. So we have to find that one weekend that's open,
Right.
and you have the Strawberry Festival's another big one and stuff. So people try not to compete with that. So there's several large festivals in our county that people you see just start maneuvering around.
Right.
So it's always this dance that you do every year. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh. Okay.
Right, just so you know.
Ooh, I got a whisper in the ear.
Yeah, that sounded kind of sexy there.
Well,
Wow.
I
That was,
wasn't sure what was going on.
Wow. You want me to leave the
I'm like,
room? Or
No,
what?
I was like,
Okay.
am I in trouble? Am I?
Yeah, wow.
So-
I'll close the door on the way out, and whatever. Turn the lights off.
We had a couple listeners, but they just left because I think they were like, "Ooh, this is getting personal."
Yeah, wow. I was ready to leave too. So, wow. But
So anyways, come out tomorrow.
yes.
Let your voice be heard.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so there's a lot of good things going on there. So obviously, Christmas parades. How can people
Yeah.
participate with that?
If they go to santapaulachamber.com on the homepage, there's a link to register for it, and then you can go to our social media page on Facebook, santapaulachamber.com or Santa Paula Chamber, and there'll be a link right there on the events page. So there's several ways to sign up. We've probably got about 20 entries so far, and we usually get about 40 to 50, so we're about halfway there with a few weeks to go, and that's about normal for us right now.
Okay.
We'll get last minute, then we'll get 10-15 like between Monday and Saturday. That's usually what happens. But
And right now, registration is free
it's free for the entire time.
for the entire time.
Yes, it's all free. We ask if you can make a donation to the chamber, because we do have to pay for it too.
Right.
So there is associated costs with it, but we want to make it free for the community. We do have some sponsors that support us all year, and that's you'll see on our poster our sponsors, Athens, Edison, Limonera, and many others that are there. But they provide a little bit of funding for that throughout the year for us. So, and then the city of Santa Paula has been really good to us as far as supporting us as well. So the city is actually one of the co-sponsors with this as well. So,
Which you would, that makes sense because it is benefiting the city.
yeah. So they're
And so
they're co-hosting it in a sense with us too.
Yeah.
So, and it's good to see that the city's behind what we're doing, and they support the Optimist Club when they do the Labor Day parade as well. They support all events in our community, but it's good to see that they identify certain events, like the 4th of July fireworks is another one that they help co-sponsor as well
Right.
too. So there's some big events we have in our community that they do support.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Is it typical in a city that if there's a holiday parade or if there's a fireworks show or if there's any other kind of major activity that is sponsored by a private organization? Or do cities typically run those things?
There are some bigger cities here, I think, that do some of these events, but for the most part, they usually have nonprofits do them or other certain organizations that put them on. Because cities don't want to get into that. They do one specific thing, they handle a government side of it and stuff. They don't really want to get into having to do registrations and do all these other things.
Okay.
And it's not in their realm. There are some bigger cities, I think, that do that, but very minimal, maybe 1 or 2 events in a year. But with the city of Santa Paula, it's better for them to partner with somebody, just provide support or whatever
Right.
they can do, just like this county 150th party, they were all out there. They did a great job with doing cleanup, with fixing things, with trimming trees, the whole thing. That's how they support, and the county still pays them to do a certain thing, but they went well above and beyond with their sponsorship to make sure the city is beautiful.
Right.
And so that's how most cities get involved, when I do events, I'll ask them, hey, can we do this? Can we do that? And, most of the time they're pretty receptive to doing things as long as it's safe and it just makes more sense for them to do this.
I think a lot of people assume, like the holiday parade, that it's Santa
Yeah.
Paula putting it on, that the
Yeah.
fireworks, it's Santa Paula putting it on, that
Well, the fireworks, the Rotary Club of Santa Paula is the one that fundraises all year for this thing.
right.
And they provide majority of the money for it, through donations all year.
Right.
But then with us, with the parade, we rely on sponsorships, on donations, and then the city puts their contribution into it too. But we run it,
Right.
so they don't want to have to be out there with their staff running it. That's not how our city operates it.
Right.
So, but other bigger cities, I think there are some levels of what they do too, but I can't speak for them exactly
Right.
what they do, but most of the time you'll see it's always a nonprofit or an organization that puts these events on, major events on.
It's like the city gets all the kudos,
Mhm.
and it's the poor organization behind it going, but we did it.
They also get the blame when something goes
Oh,
wrong.
that's true.
So the good with the bad.
Yeah.
But like with us with the chamber, we're involved in most major events in this community.
Now, is that typical?
No.
Okay.
No, a lot of smaller chambers, you'll see that. Larger chambers, they typically don't do that. They'll have one or two events like a state of the city and might do a couple fundraising events here and there. But as far as like what we do, how we have several events throughout the year besides our state of the city address, it's probably typical of smaller chambers to support their community. But we also partner with a lot of organizations too. So
Right.
we don't necessarily want to run it all, but we'll partner with other organizations to help us support it.
So the chamber is truly invested in the success of this city.
Oh yeah. We definitely have to be.
Yeah.
And we don't need the accolades. We know we have a part in everything. Our success is the success of others.
Right.
And that includes the city. We want the city to be successful, and so we do everything we can to support. We're like I said, we're successful. We know the whole community is being successful. So I don't need the accolades or anything like that. It's nice to get them once in a while, but I don't need that. That's not what we're about.
Right.
And our board is the same way. We don't need the toot our own horn for that stuff. We're just all of our board they work hard. They do a lot of things. They volunteer a lot. They're part of many other organizations as well.
A lot of them are business owners.
Yeah, a lot of them are business owners too. So, but we do it all out of the love of our community.
Right.
So and it shows.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So the holiday parade is the same day as the Saturday small business.
Correct.
And so the streets are going to get shut down at
we're closing Main Street and Santa Barbara Street at 4:30.
okay.
The parade's at 6:30. So we're trying to keep
So only 2-hour window.
2-hour window to clear the streets and everything. And that gives our businesses, especially in the downtown area, more time for people to come in and out and buy things and do what they need to do. But we do need enough time to close the streets and make it safe for everybody.
But even with the streets closed, all those businesses downtown are going to have about 4,000 or 5,000 people sitting on their sidewalk.
Yeah. Last year we were over 5,000 people downtown for about a 2 to 3 hour window. And the hope is that they go into all the businesses. Some businesses did really well. Others just, they had an okay day, but they don't have the capability to stay open late also, because staffing is always an issue.
Right.
If you're the only one there, you've been there all day, are you going to stay evening or whatever? Or maybe they
Yes.
just can't. Yeah, I think so. But sometimes they just can't, support that,
Right.
and that's fine. That's their choice. But the hope is that they all staff up, even if it's a spouse or whatever, just there for the day to get those extra sales.
Get the windows dressed up.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we know the restaurants will always do well. They always, people are always looking for something to eat. But while they're there, go out and shop a little bit. And we're hoping that each store has a sale. That's one thing we'll talk about tomorrow is like, I know they're going to do a sip and shop coming up the week before Thanksgiving, where people can go into each business and all the participating stores downtown. Go in there, they'll offer a drink, whether it's soda, whatever, just something you can come in, grab a quick something to drink, and then you can do a little bit of shopping. So, and then we're going to try and do something later in December. Also, I know December 16th, I think it's the Saturday before Christmas. 16th, is that the day? Yeah, okay. Or the week before Christmas. We're going to do a fundraiser for the hospital here. So the chamber's putting this on, and it's all businesses that want to participate in the community. And we're asking from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. that you go in and you purchase, shop in your local stores, and when the businesses can donate up to 10% to the chamber to give to the hospital. And that's going to help support their, I know they want to buy toys for the kids, and they do all. So we're working with the hospital here. And we're going to do a little bit of a fundraiser. We'll have that up on our website as well.
How many beds does this hospital have?
I know the new one they're going to build, I think, is 43 beds, and I don't know if they have that many. I don't remember exactly how many they have.
Okay.
It's probably right around that number, maybe a little bit less.
So anything serious, they're getting shipped out to.
Yeah, they'll go to
another
Ventura,
facility. Yeah.
to Ventura Medical Center. It's a county of Ventura hospital. I mean, they're great. They do a lot of great things here.
Yeah.
And we reached out to them and see how we could support. And they said that, money's always good to help purchase things or do a toy drive or whatever as well.
Right.
So we're going to do what we can to raise a little bit of money, and then we'll see how we can help them with that.
Nice.
So, I mean, it may not be a lot, but they said anything helps.
Now, on November 11th, there is a car show, and
it's called Revved and Refinished. It's at Santa Paula Auto Body.
I came up with that name, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then you talk about it. So
No, go ahead.
yeah, I have a question about your spelling on that, but whatever. No,
Did you not get the corrected poster?
No.
Oh yeah, there was a whole new poster. I noticed that some people were posting the
The old one, huh?
the revision
I never received
the draft.
the new one.
I'll send you a new one.
Okay. So, but no, that's on November 11th. It's a week from Saturday. 1 or 2 car clubs will be out there, and it's at the Santa Paula Auto Body facility right off 12th in Santa Barbara. And they're just going to have, come out and hang out. They're going to have some companies there that do that have supplies for the cars, and then
Gonna have a taco truck, I believe.
yeah,
And
El Preferido Taco Shop here on Harvard will be providing the food. We'll have some drinks there as well. The chamber's hosting that, and there'll be some music, and so it's just a real casual, just come and hang out for a little while.
yeah, take a tour of the facility.
Yeah,
and-
exactly, and it's helping support one of our chamber members, but it's also helping support car clubs that want to come out and they just want a place to hang out and do stuff too.
Right.
And so we're trying to do what we can to help support them as well.
Okay.
So-
And so that's on November 11th.
Yep.
I'll make sure I get you the new poster with the correct spelling on it.
That would help. Yeah. Okay. But November 11th, also, we have the Boys and Girls Club holiday event, the Light Up the Season event too.
Okay.
So that's going on. It's a fundraiser for the Boys and Girls Club. I serve on their board. So that's going on. It's a luncheon at the club. There's tickets still on sale. If you go to the Boys and Girls Club of Santa Clara Valley, their website as well, you can purchase tickets on there. I know they have it on their social media platform also, but it's cool. There's going to be up to 38 trees, and the chamber has one of them, and we always decorate it with local businesses, chamber members that donate items. We put on the tree. Every year we've had over $1,000 on the tree. So you come in, you buy tickets for $1, and you put them in there, and they just draw the ticket out.
Nice.
My daughters want a tree. I think my wife's want a tree over the years. But it's really cool. So you get to take it home that night, and there's a wide variety of trees from, the Rotary Club does a money tree. So it's $300 worth of money on there, and that's the decorations. And so, like I said, we do with local businesses. There's several booze trees, so the fire department of Fillmore does a tree every year. So it's more of a valley type event because we're supporting all the Boys and Girls Clubs throughout the valley.
Right.
And so a lot of people from Santa Paula, Fillmore, and Pirate all get together and they help support.
I've done a show there a couple of times throughout the years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I know last year for the trees you donated items for us, helped us decorate.
Yeah.
Julia, I know, and Nikki helped decorate last year. So we're looking, at this again. We're decorating on the 10th. So That's coming up fast.
It is.
And then
Holy cow.
and then we go the following week. We have the holiday parade. So it's like these next 3 weeks are just going to fly by.
Oh, they are.
So
They
there's
are.
so much happening in not just Santa Paula, even throughout the county. We have the State of the County is going on tomorrow. That's at the Reagan Museum. So Dr. Svet Johnson will be doing our State of the County. And we have several Santa Paulans that are participating in it. The Museum of Ventura County is helping support that. So they're part of the whole 150 anniversary program. So I'll be out there helping too. And
this is the last of the celebrations that they're doing.
the last major part of the 150 years. Yeah, that's
So the party kind of wrapped up the entertainment side of it. This kind of wraps up the whole
150th
celebration.
day. So
Yeah.
it's 150 days of celebration, ending with the State of the County address. So, so it'll be really cool. It's a sellout crowd. It is going to be live streamed. So it's in the evening. So if you go to the County of Ventura's website, there'll be a link there. Their social media. It's all over their social media pages also, but you can just sign up and watch it. Online
Nice.
as well. So I heard today there's like 600 people registered to be there. So
Wow.
so it's
Wow.
that's I've been
That's
to
why it's at the Reagan.
yes I've been to them before where they've had 300 or 400 people. That's a lot of people. This is like double them.
Yeah.
But it's a great way to end the 150 years. So looking forward to it.
Nice.
Mhm.
So a lot going on. So I think these following shows are going to be. We should get one of the businesses to come on. Have we ever had Tracy on?
No, I don't think so.
We should get Tracy on to talk a little bit about what she's got for the holidays and
Yeah.
get some other businesses to come on
And Tracy's been kind of leading the charge as far as helping with the chamber as well. She
Yeah.
does my social media stuff, but she's also kind of helping push the downtown area and connecting more people together. So, we have a new business that's opening up downtown. Nanny and Dita's Toy Store. They're opening another place a few doors down where it's going to be more a game shop, and you can go play chess, checkers, or whatever board games, and they'll have eventually have like a cafe and stuff in there too. So
Nice.
they're opening a second business downtown, which is kind of cool.
Very nice.
So yeah, it's exciting to see that. Maybe we can get them on because they're a dynamic group duo. So
I'll reach out to them this week and see if we can't get some businesses to talk, especially as it leads up to Small Business Saturday.
yeah, it'd be good to talk to several of them. Yeah.
Alrighty. As always, John, it's a pleasure. I'm so glad you dressed up for the occasion.
Didn't you like that? So,
I did, yeah.
I know. And I forgot my tie though.
I was going to
So,
say where I don't see a tie, but
if it was tomorrow, I'd have a tie on.
it's a
So,
button-up shirt. I'm impressed with that.
Yeah, it's the first time in a while I've worn this. So I had to actually wear a jacket today too. I was like, wow, I haven't done this in a while.
Yeah,
So,
and people are actually witnessing it online.
I know.
So-
I've got a haircut. I was prepped for you today.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
All right, good deal. So I'm going to expect this from now on, I guess. I think.
Don't
So-
set your expectations that high.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you all for listening. We will talk to you all next week.
This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.